the one and only Dyana Williams. She is a celebrity strategist. She's also a personality, both on the radio and on TV. And honestly, I think she's going to be doing movies. I totally see it. I see it going down, right? Movies, right? So, in the studio, Dyana Williams. Hello. All right. One of these things is working, right? There we go.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, what a great voice, right? Oh. What a great voice. Dyana, thank you for taking the time out of your, and I mean busy schedule.
Finally, we've been trying to do this for how long?
A year, over a year.
More than a year. More than a year. Yes, it's here.
How are you today?
I am superb, actually. I'm a little discombobulated because I have been traveling a lot and working on some major events. So I just came through doing one as the co-chair with Phil Thornton, who is the general manager and senior vice president of RCA Inspiration, a division at Sony. We were the co-chairs of the National Museum of African American Music in Nashville of the gala, the annual gala that kicks off June Black Music Month, which is a month that I had the honor of co-founding with Kenny Gamble, my dearest, one of my most beloved people.
When do you start preparing for?
Well, the event that I just did in Nashville last week at the War Memorial Auditorium was a year's worth of work. So it was exhilarating to help raise money for this very worthy institution that is going to be in the heart of downtown Nashville, right across from the original Grand Ole Opry on 5th and Broadway.
Nashville?
Good question. Well, because the city, the state, the private sector came together and saw the value of black music. And it is Music City and mostly known for country. However, a group of dedicated people, at least a decade ago, I've only been involved on the board for the last 4 years, but there was a group of people who came together and started raising millions of dollars. And they said, we are Music City. And it's not just country music. There's a strong gospel community. A lot of artists live in Nashville right now. And so this coming together of public and the private sector has enabled the groundbreaking. I drove last week past the site where the museum is going to be, and I got chill bumps because the first time I drove by, it was just a blank. And then I drove by another time some years later, and then it was like they broke ground. And now this is the first time that I've seen construction, actual construction. And the museum is set to be completed in 2019. We're still raising substantial funds. It is going to be fabulous. It's just like a lot of people say, why is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland? Why is it not in Detroit or Philly? Well, guess what? Those people in Cleveland facilitated the millions of dollars that it takes to build such an institution. It's a formidable undertaking. So,
take me back, if you can, to 1979. What was the conversation that you and Kenny had to say, like, we got to start this Black Music Month?
Well, the conversation actually started earlier, many years earlier, about the need for a time where we observe with special attention the contributions of people in the past, people currently in this generation, and the generation to come. And so Gamble, being an advocate for black music always from the beginning of his career in the 1960s when he started having hits.
The records.
Yes, but that came later in the 70s. But in the mid to late 60s, he produced Wilson Pickett, Jerry Butler, Only the Strong Survive, Wilson Pickett, The Green Grass. He did Dusty Springfield, LaBelle. Yes, you have to hear that album with Patti LaBelle and Sarah Dash, Nona Hendricks. It's one of my favorites. And yes.
Okay.
Laura Nyro. Really beautiful. And so anyhow, Gamble, being the black activist that he is, the humanitarian and philanthropist that he is, and the great songwriter and producer that he is, an American entrepreneur, had an idea to galvanize the African-American music community and bring together artists, executives, retailers, broadcasters, and any and everybody, educators, anybody who had an interest in black music as well as consumers. And so he started the Black Music Association, and it was through the efforts of Jules Malamud and LeBaron Taylor and Kenny Gamble and a host of other people who wanted to see the culture advance that there were discussions about going to the White House. And also involved in that conversation was Clarence Avant. They call him the Godfather.
Yeah.
And Clarence was very politically connected. And so what happened was Gamble went to Nashville. And when he visited there, he saw what the Country Music Association had done and was doing. And he said, we need to do that as well for black folks. Come together, because there's strength in numbers. And that's where the birth and the idea of the Black Music Association was inspired by Nashville. So the irony now that I'm involved in a museum in Nashville and on the board there. So yeah, that's what happened. And that's where the germination of the idea came forth.
Could that have happened in 2000? Was the climate unique for that to happen then? Could it happen now? Or if it happened now, how different would it be? Where, I just feel that the music industry right now, black music right now, is in a whole different place. I don't know that.
I would agree with you. It is a different time.
Okay.
And what we have to consider is it was the post-civil rights era, the era of say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, because the early 70s, the post-60s into the early 70s, you had Nina Simone, Aretha Franklin, To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. You had James Brown, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. You had Donny Hathaway singing about the ghetto. There was a celebration of black excellence and beauty. Women and men wore naturals and fros. They wore African garb.
Were you that way?
Of course, I had a huge Angela Davis. I'll show you the picture. I have a great picture with my fro. Absolutely. People are like, how you get this? This is heat. What you see now is a lot of heat applied to natural, unpermed hair. But yes, I let it go natural. Just wash it and just let it air dry. Yes, I had a beautiful fro.